Really happy that Joe was able to walk us through that process, because getting our cameras right in there, seeing it happen, back in 2020, that was a big question, is people are not allowed to watch this process. Are they really doing what they're supposed to be doing? So the fact that it has been very transparent, the Secretary of State has said that we are going to have free and fair elections this year. The election workers, we just did a story on it. They are just members of the community, going out there, doing a job, willingly doing the job, counting up those ballots, and trying to make sure that everybody who went out there and cast their ballot, that their ballot is counted.
And while we're talking about Cobb County, you just saw Joe Henke walking us through the process in Cobb County. Good time to talk about the results in Cobb County, the ballots that are being counted as we watched in there, and also the results that are coming in across the rest of the core metro here. Let's start in Cobb County. We'll get the graphic up on screen in a moment, but I can give it to you now, Fal and Mark. Kamala Harris in Cobb County up by about 16%. What we're seeing here, about 57% Kamala Harris, 41% Donald Trump. Does that margin sound what you'd expect, Mark? Give us some context here.
Yes. Harris is pretty much projected to win by a 20-point margin over there. If anything, it'll get a little bit larger.
So you think this, where we're at now,
it is
16
exactly
points,
where
it's going to get,
should be.
Okay, you think it'll get bigger as the night goes on?
If Harris was running well tonight, she'd be in the 65, 66 range. Both Gwinnett and Cobb probably are going to come in less than that at this point.
And just to put a pause in our conversation, we do have some updated Georgia calls. Rick Allen in the 12th, Barry Loudermilk in the 11th.
There you go. You see Barry Loudermilk.
Races, and we continue to get these calls on and on again. Fal, just continuing on that question of Cobb County, like what are your thoughts? What are you looking at right now?
I'm trying to see if the Harris campaign made significant inroads in Cobb County. You know, in 2012, Cobb County went for Republicans 55%, and then the trend. 2016, it was almost a dead heat. In 2020, it finally flipped. And so trying to see if that trend, like what Mark was saying, gets larger. I think that right now I'm looking at former President Trump. I mean, his votes are lagging from what he got last time in Cobb County. And I mean, they made a play for Cobb County too. Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance was in Cobb Monday.
Right.
And I mean, they understand the importance of Cobb County, and as do the Democrats. They have invested a lot. They've been running on the state legislative level and up the ballot.
Mark, you look like you want to jump in here.
I was going to add one additional thing about Cobb. I just checked it out. Biden carried 69% of the vote back in 2020 in Cobb County, and it's pretty much tracking just like the 2020 election in a lot of these counties. Mm-hmm. The question will be, when the election day vote is actually tabulated, will that go a little more Democratic or not? But right now, the early vote is pretty much matching what it was a couple of years ago.
And Faith, I know we want to get to a soundbite in just a second, but Mark, just because you pointed out, we can show the 2020 result versus the 2024 result if it's worth noting for our audience. I don't want to move the map around too much without saying out loud what we're doing, because we know we're giving you a lot of data. This is the 2024 picture right now. You see up here with about 76% of the estimated total vote in, a 16% margin for the Democrats, for Kamala Harris here. 2020, when it was all said and done, about a 14% margin, Joe Biden over Donald Trump. About what you expect, Mark?
Yeah, and I think it's about where it probably would be tonight. We're coming back down to a handful of votes, basically separating the two candidates by the end of the night.
Well, we will continue to see those numbers continue to come in. Speaking of the voters who are going out there to make their